26 Tibetan Terrier facts every owner should know. Number 1. The Tibetan Terrier is a medium-sized breed of dog that originated in Tibet. Despite having a terrier in their name, they're not a member of the terrier group. The breed was given its English name by European travelers due to its resemblance to some terrier breeds. Number 2. The Tibetan name for the breed, Sang Apso, roughly translates to shaggy or bearded dog from the province of Sang. Some old travelers' accounts refer to the dog as Doki Apso or Outdoor Apso, indicating a shaggy or bearded working dog which lives outdoors. Number 3. The Tibetan Terrier is a powerful, medium-sized dog of square proportions with a shaggy coat. They vary widely in height, ranging from 14 to 16 inches and weighing about 18 to 30 pounds, with 20 to 24 pounds preferred for either male or female. All weights are acceptable if in proportion to the size. Number 4. Tibetan Terriers have been bred and raised in monasteries of Tibet for 2,000 years. Historically, Tibetan Terriers were kept as watchdogs, herding dogs, and companions by the Buddhist monks of the area. Number 5. The breed's origins are uncertain before it appeared in Tibet. Some believe the Tibetan Terrier is a descendant of dogs that traveled with the Kuman people, a Turkic-speaking community that originated in western China near Tibet but eventually fled due to the invading Mongols. Number 6. Another story states that the breed comes from the Lost Valley that became isolated as a result of a violent earthquake around 1300 AD. Heads of monasteries that visited the valley before the destruction took place were given a Tibetan Terrier as a good luck token that would carry peace and prosperity to their monasteries. Number 7. Tibetan Terriers were traditionally considered good luck charms and were called the Holy Dogs of Tibet. They were given as gifts in return for favors or when someone assisted them. The Tibetans never sold the breed as they were afraid that they would sell away their luck. Number 8. Dr. Grieg, a British medical missionary, brought the first Tibetan Terrier to England in 1922. She had been gifted a female puppy named Bunti after she had successfully operated on a Tibetan woman. She was later given a second male puppy named Raja. The first litter was born in 1924 and the puppies were registered as Lhasa Terriers. Number 9. On her trip back to England, Dr. Grieg showed one of her Tibetan Terriers named Tumbea Flatcock at the famous Croft Dog Show in London. This handsome white dog, who was 10 years old at the time, is now recognized as the first Tibetan Terrier champion in England. Number 10. Dr. Grieg had a history of showcasing dogs and horses in India, so she used her knowledge to get the breed officially recognized by the Indian Kennel Club in 1930. It was here that the breed's name was changed from Lhasa Terrier to Tibetan Terrier. Number 11. Eventually, Dr. Grieg left India and returned to England permanently to raise her Tibetan Terriers. She founded the famous Lamley Kennels and protected the breed with enormous zeal, especially during the grim days of the Second World War. Number 12. After the war, several other breeders became interested in the Tibetan Terrier. Among them were Connie and John Downey, who raised and showed the breed under the famous Lunéville Kennels prefix. Number 13. The Tibetan Terrier is often described as a miniature version of the bearded collie. Both share a similar size, a lush double coat, floppy ears, and playful personalities. Although their histories differ, stand them together and you'd swear the Tibetan Terrier is a bearded collie shrunk in the wash. It's a delightful example of how different dog breeds can wear surprisingly similar suits. Number 14. The Tibetan Terrier's coat has a long growth cycle. As a result, their coat grows quite long and will require occasional trimming. Unlike short-haired dogs that shed a lot, Tibetan Terriers don't shed much. Instead, they lose hair gradually, similar to how humans do. Number 15. The first Tibetan Terrier in the United States was named Gremlin Cortina, a black and white female. Gremlin was imported in 1956 by Dr. Henry and Mrs. Alice Murphy of Great Falls, Virginia, from the Lamley Kennels of Dr. Grieg. Number 16. Mrs. Murphy later imported the mate for Gremlin, a tricolor male named Kalai of Lamley. The first litter was born at the Murphys' home in 1957, and Lamley of Kalai became the suffix of all Tibetan Terriers subsequently bred by Alice Murphy. Number 17. In addition to her own dogs, Alice founded the Tibetan Terrier Club of America and served as its president from 1957 to 1974. She worked as a member of the club's board of directors until her final moments in 1976. Number 18. The year 1973 was a significant time for the breed in the United States, as the American Kennel Club officially recognized the Tibetan Terrier as a distinct breed. Inclusion in the AKC registry meant Tibetan Terriers could now officially participate in dog shows and events organized by the AKC. making them more visible to the American public and potentially boosting their popularity. Number 19. Tibetan Terriers are renowned for being friendly and affectionate with their families. They are sensitive to their owners' feelings and usually get along well with older children if introduced properly. Due to their history as watchdogs, they can be a bit reserved around strangers, but they are definitely not aggressive or shy. Number 20. Tibetan Terriers possess a naturally loud and deep bark, often described as booming or resonating. This characteristic stems from their history as watchdogs and guardians in the harsh Himalayan environment. The loud bark served as a deterrent for predators and alerted their owners to potential threats. Number 21. While their deep bark can be impressive, their propensity for excessive barking can be a challenge for some owners. Their inherent alertness and watchdog instincts make them sensitive to any perceived disturbances, prompting them to bark at anything outside the ordinary, like passing cars, unfamiliar noises, or even shadows. Number 22. A bored Tibetan Terrier is a barker, and a really bored Tibetan Terrier is an escape artist who is perfectly capable of climbing, jumping, or digging his way over or under a fence. House training can take time, but you'll be successful if you're patient and give your Tibetan Terrier a regular schedule. Number 23. Joe Camp, who created the character Benji the dog, said that the canine was a Tibetan Terrier and Spaniel mix. Additionally, actors like Hugh Bonneville and Leslie Nicole, known for their role in Downton Abbey, are proud owners of Tibetan Terriers, further proving just how beloved this breed is. Number 24. Unlike most dogs with round paw pads, Tibetan Terriers have paws that are significantly larger and flatter. This special feature acts like natural snowshoes, helping them survive in the high Himalayan mountains. With their flat feet, they can easily walk on snow, making it simpler for them to find food and resources during the long winters in deep snow. Number 25. The average lifespan of a Tibetan Terrier, as stated by the AKC, is 15 to 16 years. This is longer compared to other medium-sized dogs, which typically live around 10 to 13 years. In the past, Tibetan Terriers had an estimated lifespan of 13 to 15 years, but advancements in veterinary care and responsible breeding practices have contributed to their increased lifespan. Number 26. Tibetan Terriers are adaptable dogs at home in a variety of households, from condos to castles. They should live indoors with their people, not stuck out in a backyard or kennel. Once they've matured, they are just as happy being couch potatoes as they are active family dogs. Alright guys, now which of these Tibetan Terrier facts surprised you the most? Please let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching.